This is Tom Myers, Superintendent of the Bellevue Community School District in Bellevue, Iowa, giving you this week's I Believe in the Blue update. Just a quick summary of some things going on. And one thing going on, it's raining out right now. It's been raining for the last couple hours here and raining pretty hard. Softball games that were going to be at home today. Right now, our middle school game against Northeast was canceled earlier. Our varsity games, varsity baseball is going to be at Northeast. That is still on as of right now. Varsity softball is going to be home. That is being moved to Northeast. But the way it's raining right now, neither one look very optimistic for having those games, but they are not canceled yet. Check into the Bellevue website under events and River Valley Conference to find out any updates on that. You can also subscribe then to get updates. If you go to that River Valley Conference site, you can get updates sent to your email, text message, whatever the case is. So just so you know. Some upcoming things though. Tomorrow we have middle school softball against Northeast as well. We're going to have a 7th grade game today. That will be a 7th and 8th grade game combined, probably something like that. We'll for sure be having some softball at Northeast tomorrow, weather permitting and field use permitting. We'll also have a freshman softball doubleheader at Northeast tomorrow. We have a home baseball and softball games tomorrow. Baseball plays at home against Edgewood Colesburg at 3:30 tomorrow, and softball, and that's Tuesday, June 23rd. And softball plays at home on Tuesday, June 23rd tomorrow versus Beckman at 5 o'clock. So we start the varsity games will be first, followed by JV in both those situations. Wednesday, we have middle school softball at Lisbon, and then softball and baseball JV doubleheaders at Northeast. It's our week to travel to Northeast, apparently. And then Thursday, we have a freshman softball doubleheader against Wahlert of Dubuque, middle school softball at DeWitt Central, and then we have varsity baseball and softball and JV baseball and softball against West Branch, and that is at home at starting at 3:30 with the baseball, 5 o'clock for the softball, and then on Friday, baseball JV doubleheader versus Monticello at home, and then JV softball doubleheader versus Monticello at home. So have some things going on in that regard. We also play a middle school softball at West Branch that day at 10, and then varsity baseball and softball doubleheaders that night at Kelmus Wheatland. So that gives you an update on this week, but look at the website for more information. I know I also have students involved in band camp. Saw something recently on, I think, on Drew Chapman. I think he was recognized there for outstanding performance. I do not have all the information everyone involved in the summer. If you email me, I'd be happy to put it up there and share that information. We have students involved in Little League baseball and softball, kids go into band camps, music camps, everything. A lot of things are going on. We have a College for Kids type program up at the University of Dubuque that some students are going to. So kids are busy and they're staying active, which is great, and it keeps the learning going. One thing I just want to share here real quick, I have an article in the paper next week about some things with education that way, but I want to share a couple things. 10 truths about educating kids that often are ignored. And this is not my belief. It's something I found on Twitter that way. I'm not saying I disagree with it, but number one, much of the material students are required to memorize is soon forgotten. Think about that yourself for things that you have to memorize. Do you remember those forever or not? Just knowing a lot of facts doesn't mean you're smart. Ultimately, that comes down in my mind to the aspect of being able to apply information that way. Students are more likely to learn what they find interesting, just like you and I. We need to do a good job as educators to make things interesting for students. Students are less interested in whatever they're forced to do and more enthusiastic when they have some say. Very true. Just because doing X raises standardized test scores doesn't mean X should be done. Students are more likely to succeed in a place where they feel known and cared about, and that's a very important part about relationships and having those lasting relationships with people. We want children to develop in many ways, not just academically, and I think that's one of the key things that I keep stressing. Yes, we want students to be outstanding academically, but we also want outstanding citizens that way who can perform in society once they leave high school. It kind of goes back to the old Bill Daggett quote that I've used before. Many have heard me say the primary aim of education is not to enable students to do well in school, but to assist them to do well in their lives outside of school. Very key point. We want people who are going to be successful when they leave here. If they're successful here, they can be successful in life. Just because a lesson or book or class or test is harder doesn't mean it's better. And kids aren't just short adults. We have to recognize that they have different interests and different needs than adults. And number 10 here, substance matters more than labels. We need to make sure we're providing the students the best we can. We have a lot of teachers, staff members going to trainings this summer. We'll be bringing that back. We'll still be going very strong with problem-based learning, really looking to apply information for students that way. We've also looked at looking at student data to make sure we're meeting student needs. And yes, that's academically, but also recognizing the relationship part and how can we connect students to school and to their learning. Learning is huge. It's not just about learning math and not just about learning English and not just about learning science. It's putting things together and being able to recognize how things fit together in many ways. It's that application of learning. I can learn a bunch of facts, but if I don't know what they mean or how they actually apply or how they go together, it doesn't really matter. I can take baseball, for example. I can learn how to maybe hit, how to pitch, but if I don't understand the whole game of what to do in certain situations, I really don't know the game of baseball. So anyway, I hope everyone's having a great summer. Stay dry. As I said, it's still raining out there right now, but hope everyone has a great summer. If you ever have a question, feel free to let me know, and we'll go from there. Our next board meeting is actually on July 6th. An agenda will be posted online sometime next week, by the end of next week, but have a great one.